that how you are able to fetch data from data centers located miles away from you in few seconds? Yes, we know this is all because of internet. So in this video, we are going to see that how internet works behind the scene. Hello friends, welcome to Genius Pirates. My name is Tanya. Let's get started. Before we start this video, let's have a look on the topics which we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about internet, IP address and DNS, web servers, data transmission and fiber optic cables. First of all, what is internet? Internet is a network of interconnected computer devices through some protocols. Each and every computer on internet need to follow some protocols. These protocols are called internet protocols. Each computer on internet have a unique address through which other computers can connect with each other. This is a server computer on internet with some address. These unique addresses are commonly known as internet protocol addresses or IP addresses. This server computer is programmed to connect other computers with each other, so they are able to contact with each other. If a mobile user connected to this server computer, the server computer provides a new IP to this mobile phone on internet, and this happens to each computer. As you can see, a laptop user and a desktop user are also provided a new IP. This IP address is dynamic, so it changes after each time a user connected to the internet server. And now all the three users are also interconnected with each other, as through servers they are able to message each other or exchange information with each other. This is the basic introduction to the internet. Let's have a look on IP address and DNS. IP address or Internet Protocol address is a unique address given to each computer wanted to access internet communication. Some examples of IP addresses are: but each server in the world has its own unique IP address, but we are not able to memorize all these IP addresses to connect through internet. Then DNS or domain name system comes into picture. Okay, before DNS, let's see an example. In our smartphones, we have a lots of numbers of our friends. We are not able to memorize these numbers to contact them. So, we link that numbers with a particular name. So then we can easily contact with our friends. The same thing happens with the domain name system. The websites like YouTube, Google, Facebook, Reddit, GitHub and many more have some IP addresses. So, we link these IP addresses with a domain name such as youtube.com, facebook.com or google.com. As when we write youtube.com, then our browser went to DNS servers and fetch the correct IP address of YouTube or any other website and take us there on the website. Some of the most famous domains are .com, .in, .net, .tech, .live and .info. You can purchase these domain names from websites such as Google Domains. The websites which manage DNS systems are ICANN and Verisign. Let's see what is a web server. Web server is a computer with some IP address and domain name which serves a lot of information to us. As server is also a computer, it has a storage unit through which server is able to serve that data to us. Through servers, we can access data such as images, videos, music, live talk and websites. We can also upload data on the servers using applications such as Dropbox to keep our data secure. Even we can access other computers through servers. How we are able to transfer data through the internet? First option is through wires. Let's say you have a server computer in your home or office and you want to connect to access your server data on the laptop. This is an Ethernet cable. This cable can transfer data in digital format. Through this, we can access our local server in a wide way. Let's see how we can connect to our local server in wireless connection. This is a router. We connect our Ethernet cable to router, then digital signal flow through router. Then our router convert these electrical signal into electromagnetic waves and transmit them into our surroundings. Today, router transmit these waves on two frequencies which are 2.3 GHz and 5 GHz. The routers which transmit waves on 2.3 GHz has larger range but slow internet speed, and the routers which transmits these electromagnetic waves on 5 GHz have smaller range and high internet speed. If your phone is located inside this Wi-Fi range, then you are able to access the data from server. But there is a point that how your phone computer is able to recognize data from electromagnetic waves, as in our phones Wi-Fi chips are available which converts these electromagnetic waves back to digital signals so that we are able to communicate with our local server without any wire. Of course, wired way is much faster than wireless, as wireless have to face some obstacles, but the wireless way is more reliable and easy. As in industries or factories, it is very difficult to maintain a wired connection with everyone's computer. So, there we use routers with 2.3 GHz band, as 2.3 GHz band has a wide range. But in our homes, we don't need such a large range. So, there we use 5 GHz band which provide smaller range and high internet speed. But this is the connection way to local servers. But if our server is located in another country or even in another continent, so how we are able to access data from very long distance such as continents? Suppose a person in India wants to call his friend in Brazil through internet and the data center is located in USA. We do not have any wireless router having range which covers the world. But if we have one in future which covers the whole world, then its speed will be very low and it will face lots of obstacles. So we cannot use routers. Another thing which we had discussed earlier is Ethernet cable. This is somehow possible to manage such a long Ethernet cable through oceans and continents, but there is also a problem that such a large cable made up of copper is very expensive, and if we put them into ocean, the corrosion will happen. Forgot about these two limitations. We have another big limitation, which is resistance, which opposes the flow of current. As digital signals are in the form of electricity, then resistance opposes the flow of electricity, as such a large wire has a tremendous amount of resistance. As we know that the length of the wire is directly proportional to its resistance, because of this, our digital signals do not reach to the destination. As the speed of electricity is not capable to manage live call between India, USA and Brazil, there will be a big time lag. So we need a cable which do not corrode, less expensive, has the fastest speed and does not blocked by anything. As we know that the fastest thing in the universe is light with a speed of 299,792 kilometers per second. Therefore, fiber optic cable comes into picture. Optic fiber is a cable through which we are able to transfer data in the form of light on a speed which is maximum than any other cable. Fiber optic cable works on the principle of total internal reflection. When we transfer a light ray from one medium to another, it gets deflected by its original path. In this example, as you can see on the screen, when a light ray strikes the glass surface, it gets deflected on certain angle. In second case, when we increase the angle of incidence, the angle of deflected light get reduces. And now, in the third case, when the incident angle is larger than a critical angle, then our light is totally internally reflected back. This is known as total internal reflection, and the critical angle is the angle on which total internal reflection started. Any light beam which strikes another medium at a critical angle or angle larger than critical angle, then total internal reflection will happen. This is an optic fiber cable. The outer protective layer is called cladding and internal layer is called core. The internal layer is made up of nano textured glass or plastic. As you can see in the image, when there is light in the tube, it indicates digital signal on. When there is no light in the tube, it indicates digital signal off. Light travels in the fastest speed inside the core by totally internally reflected at some angles on the inner surface of core. Optical transmitter is a device which converts digital signals into light signals so they can flow in fiber optic cables. The real optical transmitter look like this. From this point, we input digital signals in the form of electricity. This is the processing unit which process electrical signals to light signals, and through this point light is emitted in the form of laser. As you can see in the image, after traveling some distance in fiber optic cable, lights get scattered out. After some time, it is impossible to decode these light signals. So we use amplifiers to amplify these weak light signals to the strong light signals. The amplifier is located after a certain distance in fiber optic cables. The actual optical amplifier look like this. At the end of fiber optic cable, we have to again decode these light signals back to the digital signals. So we use optical receivers which turns back light signals to the digital signals of on and off. This is how we are able to transfer data through such a large distance. This is how a real optical receiver looks like. All this process happens in less than a second. There is a fact that a single fiber optic cable can manage 7 international phone calls at the same time without any time lag. Now you can see this is the worldwide network of fiber optic cables. Companies like Corning and YOFC manage these international fiber optic cables network. That's all for today guys. Thanks for watching. Do like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel Genius Pirates. Till then, take care.